Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we look at the latest comics and other media featuring the Transformers. In this episode, we're reviewing Transformers number 14, featuring Starscream. We've also got news about a new game and yet another printing for Transformers number 1. Today is Friday, November 15th, 2024, and this is episode 416 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that knows when all else fails, just weld yourself to a tank and get on with your day. I'm your host, Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team, Shar, aka Robo Apollo.
Hello, everyone.
And Jeremy Yako.
Hey, how's it going? Let's talk Transformers.
Back 1 week and already lose my line. It's fine. It's fine.
You blame Charles. If Charles was here, you get your line.
Yeah.
That's true. Yep. All right. We are going to start off the show like usual by talking about our Donatreons, and we love them. And if you want to become a Donatron, it's easy. You just check out the Donatron page on our website at www.transmissionspodcast.com/support, and a whole bunch of fun, crazy stuff you can do there. We've also got a bunch of exclusive episodes of shows you can watch. Like We Like Big Bots. That's a show that I do sometimes, rarely, but it does get done. And I do that with Dr. Pants, and we talk about some big bots in our collection. There are some newly acquired big bots, as I did just get back from TFCon, and in Baltimore. That's right. And it was a good time. But I acquired some big bots, and wouldn't mind talking about them a little bit. So I got to touch base with Dr. Pants and see if we can maybe make some shows. Not promising anything, but we'll talk. Anyway, there's another show that we do that is a little bit more regular. It's called Empire of Rust. That's put on by Mike and his merry band of misfits. And they put it's our live play RPG. And they are doing a very good job at getting the show out regularly. And it's good, from what I understand. I don't listen to it, but I understand it's pretty good. Yeah, so if you want to check out that, they have a new episode coming out. It is episode 128, Bouncy Gummy Gone Berry Juice. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. Gummy bears, I'm assuming, something like that.
Something here and there and everywhere.
Mike's titles don't make any sense, but whatever. And yeah, so this is the regular episode, and that is going to be... that is out for Donatreons now. Yeah, so you can check that out. And yeah. Also, we have our exclusive Transformers number 1 issue with art by EJ Sue. We still have a few of those left. We sold some of these at TFCon Baltimore, and it's a pretty popular book. A lot of people are picking it up, and it's still going for pretty high prices on eBay. So I don't know why people are buying it on eBay when you could buy it from us for like $30 cheaper, but whatever. People don't know that you can get it from us. They just look for the exclusives and they find them. So whatever, but pick it up from us, save some money. And lastly, we got our Toy Hacks code. So the Toy Hacks code it's going to be good through
Today.
Last day is today. Okay, cool. So yeah, so you probably missed it, but the code is Turkey Bots. Why is it ending today? That was good for the month.
Because of Black Friday.
Oh, right.
And
right.
We need to give Toy Hacks a shout out anyway because they're awesome. So
yeah,
even if you missed out on our code,
That's right.
Black Friday is going to have some good deals.
The Black Friday sale at Toy Hacks is pretty epic. So if you aren't using our code, check out the toyhacks.com for Black Friday anyway. And they're gonna be using some crazy stuff. If you've won a code from us in the past, because I don't know if you have, it's been months since I've sent those out, and I really gotta get on top of that. And but if you still have one of those codes kicking around because they make them like unexpirable, then it will not work for Black Friday. So just so you know, if you've been saving it, waiting, and wanting to use it on Black Friday, it ain't gonna work. So
the gift codes don't work.
Not on can't be used with any discounts or any other promotions.
15% off one. I thought the gift, the ones like that we give away, the $10.
Oh, that's just like cash. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. So this one work. They told me.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're making you sound crazy right now.
Yeah. So the turkey bots they told me it was only good through the 15th. So if you're hearing this on the 15th, you can still use it today, but then after that, you're out of luck. But chances are they're going to have other better deals.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what Jeremy was talking about just now, but that's crazy. Yeah. We all know the gift code is just like cash. So anyway.
I've been painting a room in our house, so who knows? I have paint fumes.
Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Let's get on with the show. We're going to start off with we're going to go on with a little bit of comics news first. We do have a review, but we're going to go comics news first. All right, and we are going to start off quickly by talking about Transformers #1. Remember, this book came out just over a year ago. Well, it's getting its 10th printing, which is ridiculous. I wouldn't have even thought it was possible, but then Void Rivals got its 10th printing just a few months ago. So it's not uncommon for these Skybound books to go 10 printings, which is nuts. So how is Transformers celebrating getting its 10th printing? By printing 10 variant covers. I think there are more copies of Transformers #1 out there than any other comic in existence. It's ridiculous. So, we've got an article here, or an article. This is an email actually that we're showing, but this is actually detailing the different covers that are available. As I said, there are 10, and we have a cover. I'm just going to read them from a list here that I have. If you bear with me while I pull it. Actually, Jeremy, you've probably got the whole list right there, don't you?
Yeah. So we have the first one is basically a recreation of the first issue cover by Daniel Warren Johnson with a gold foil, Skybound gold.
It is a gold embossed cover. It is like embossed like the 90s. The 90s are back.
Yeah, the book is certified Skybound Gold, which I'm sure is prestigious, and any book from any company can get the certification, right?
Right.
And then we have here Daniel Warren Johnson did cover B as well, which is Starscream in the same pose that Optimus was in. So basically, it's a very similar image, but Starscream.
And also certified gold foil embossed.
Yeah. And then cover C is by Lorenzo Di Felici, and it's more of a battle scene and kind of a painted look. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on this, because this is kind of small. There we go. So it's a pretty epic looking cover. And then we have from Jorge Corona, Optimus Soundwave, Shockwave, and Alita 1. And that's looking pretty cool. Then we have covered E, David Nakayama, and it's basically Optimus leading the Autobots on the charge. Cover F is Taran Clark and Soundwave with his with Ravage ejecting. It's pretty cool. Cover G is by EJ Sue, who did our exclusive cover, and it is Optimus Prime, and behind him is a blueprint of Optimus Prime. And EJ Sue is like architectural or engineering. they're all.
I believe it's some kind of a design, so
Yeah,
it's not uncommon to see him do. It's probably right within his wheelhouse. To
Yeah,
do these
so-
kind of drawings.
Yeah, so this is very professional looking in terms of what you would see on a blueprint. I think it looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Howard is doing cover H and continuing his scene of an Autobot or Decepticon with their faction logo. But this is Bumblebee, who didn't have the best issue 1, and this is basically showing Bumblebee after having been shot in the face by Starscream.
Yeah, he did.
So if you haven't read the book, spoiler.
Yeah.
And then covers was this it doesn't cover J
I and J.
or I and J. Yeah, it's a connecting cover by Andre Bresson and Adriano Lucas, and I has Optimus and Ratchet in this battle scene, and then J shows Optimus's fist hitting Starscream, and then Jetfire looking a little surprised. So all really good covers. I mean, and I'm still shocked that how many covers have come out for this one book. And if anyone has every single cover, which I doubt it, but it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impressive that they're going like this. I've never really been like I've bought Skybound books before. I bought Image stuff before, obviously, but I've never followed them closely enough to notice whether they've gotten this kind of like insanity when it goes to printings. Yeah, so
I do think it has to do also with the sales numbers. If the sales weren't, insane for issue 1, it wouldn't have done all this.
Yeah, and I think they just know that the Transformers fans are just idiots, and we're just gonna buy them all. So, right, and they're right. I looked at my because these books, this issue, this 10th printing comes out on December 18th. So mark your calendars. I looked at my my pull list for that day, and I have marked down that I want to get 4 of these covers. I'm an idiot. I own this book. Like, I have a box of our cover. Like, I think I have 150 of these books in my house. It's ridiculous. I don't need more of them. So
it's different though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I ordered 2 of them on TFAW just to ensure that I get them. I wanted that EJ2 cover.
We're so stupid.
We are, but you were just talking about people buying, our cover and off eBay instead of through us. But I just glanced at my email and we just got an order. So
yay!
Awesome.
As if someone was listening to this as we record this, which we are not streaming this, so who knows?
Yeah, wow. I bought one.
Yeah, you placed that order.
All
right.
No, it's cool. It's I'm very happy that we did that. But it's yeah, I can't the 10th printing of 10 different covers just boggles my mind. I don't know what is going on with this, but again, it's Image and they're nuts. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
I
go ahead.
A quick question. Do you think Skybound will do an art book of all the covers when it's done?
Oh, without a doubt.
I honestly don't know. I've never seen an art book of just covers from Skybound. But
I know IDW did it.
Yeah,
there a couple times. They did All Hell Megatron.
Okay.
But I feel like with the number of covers they've done, they have enough pages to fill a decent book.
A couple times over, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to buy the Jason Howard ones just because I like the individual character on the white background. And so I'm really hoping to find that on Bumblebee one.
If this is the last one in that series, it's like, what a way to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on. because we've got a comic review, and surprisingly enough, it's a Transformers one. Amazing.
Yay.
So let's get into it.
All right. And we are reviewing Transformers number 14. This is written by Daniel Warren Johnson. Artist, though just mentioned, Jason Howard. Colorist, Mike Spicer. Letterer, Russ Wooten. Editor is Ben Abernathy. Publication design, Andreas Juarez. And production, Ashby Florence.
This is one of those books that Jason Howard has stepped in just to kind of give Jose Corona a break, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it was just 3-issue arc.
That's right.
And Jose Corona is back on number 15. So I've already gotten the promo email about that. All right, the story goes, after recovering Starscream's body, General Horton ordered his team to work on this new technology. He patiently waits for his crew to finish. The main tech, Raz, has integrated Starscream's torso into their Mars Industry HISS tank. As Horton admires his team's handiwork, Starscream regains consciousness. He's horrified by what the humans have done to him. He lashes out and tries to crush them, but the humans get out of his reach since he's welded to the tank. One of the soldiers, Private Martin, tries to talk to him and shows him a drawing he's made. He tells Starscream that they've actually rescued him from a pool of lava after his legs had already melted off. Starscream does calm down, but he's not pleased with Martin's drawing skills, and he orders him to draw him again with the correct proportions this time. Horton orders his other tech, Clayton, to do something, and Clayton uses the remote control he rigged to control the HISS tank to move Starscream to a safe distance. Starscream howls in rage at being controlled. Then he sees Raz's pet cat on the ground watching him. Starscream asks what it is and immediately wants to kill it, but Raz scoops up her cat out of his reach to save it. But rather than being thankful, the cat bites the hand that feeds it, and Starscream finds it hilarious and stops his rampage. He also begins to feel weak from the lack of energon. Raz tells him that they did their best to repair him with what they had available. At this point, Horton introduces himself to Starscream and offers to help him. Starscream angrily grabs Horton and tells him that he needs no one's help, but Horton tells him to be careful. They've wired Starscream's body with explosives and a trigger tied to Horton's heartbeat and the remote control. Starscream realizes the situation that he's in and he lets Horton go. They come to an understanding, and if Horton says that if Starscream helps them gain power for their company, Mars Industries, they can help restore Starscream's body. Starscream agrees to those terms for now. But their conversation is interrupted when they hear someone screaming in the woods nearby. So Starscream and Horton's team goes to investigate. We flash back to the early days of the war on Cybertron. Starscream follows Megatron into battle as they defeat a squad of Autobots. 3 Autobots have been captured, and Megatron offers them a choice: vow to join the Decepticons or die. The Autobots stare back silently and refuse to comply. So Megatron transforms into his gun mode and jumps into Starscream's hand. He orders Starscream to execute the prisoners. At first, he hesitates. Starscream can't just murder prisoners of war in cold blood, but Megatron insists. He needs someone to wield him in gun mode, and it must be Starscream. Megatron exerts some kind of psychic attack on Starscream, causing him to direct pain in his head until Starscream finally complies. He pulls the trigger and kills the first Autobot. The other 2 beg for mercy, but Starscream still fires. He apologizes to his victim, but Megatron admonishes him that he should never apologize for doing what is necessary. Megatron declares that Starscream will be his executioner in his hand of death. Through the years, Starscream uses Megatron to murder countless Autobots and begins to enjoy it. Back in the present, Starscream and the humans have found the source of the screens of pain and anger. Astrotrain is struggling against the chains Beachcomber restrained him in on the beach when he captured him. Starscream greets him and asks how he got out of the Nemesis, and Astrotrain tells him that Soundwave freed him and promised that he could get revenge on Megatron if he joined him. Starscream tells Astrotrain that that's probably a lie, since Soundwave is one of Megatron's most loyal soldiers. Starscream convinces Astrotrain to join him and work with him instead, and he'll definitely let Astrotrain get his revenge. Then they're interrupted by a crash as a giant structure falls into the ocean. It appears to be a piece of Cybertron here on Earth. Starscream asks Astrotrain what's happening, and Astrotrain replies that much has happened. But the humans realize that there's no time for discussion as the planet fragment crashing into the ocean is causing a massive tidal wave that's coming right for them on the beach. Astrotrain asks Starscream if he's working with the Fleshling, and Starscream answers that they saved him from death, but Astrotrain has no interest in them. He transforms into his spatial mode to fly away. He tells Starscream to get in so they can take off, but Horton isn't letting them abandon him and his team. He uses the control to drive Starscream away from Astrotrain's open bay door and reminds him that they have a deal. Starscream tries to tell him that he's still cooperating and is trying to help them escape with Astrotrain. Starscream and the humans get on board, and Astrotrain takes off, flying above the waves. As they continue their flight, Starscream sees two bots in the ocean that need help: the Combaticons Onslaught and half of Brawl. Starscream orders Astrotrain to fly close to the surface so they can rescue their fellow Decepticons. Then he pulls them aboard, and they have a nice reunion. Horton doesn't like more giant robots joining the party, but Starscream assures him that the Combaticons will be an asset. Horton orders them to return to the ground immediately, and Starscream says, of course, but they have to make a stop first. Just then, the waves hit Astrotrain, knocking Horton and the other humans unconscious. And when Horton wakes up, he realizes that they are not back on the ground. They're in the Decepticon fortress on the section of Cybertron in the ocean. He hears voices and sees all the Combaticons and Astrotrain cheering for Starscream. Starscream basks in their adoration and thanks them for their support. He asks them to join him as he takes back control of the Decepticons from Soundwave. Onslaught and Brawl are especially on board since they heard Soundwave plotting against Shockwave, so they know he's a traitor and can't wait to take him down. All of this goes over Horton's head, literally. He yells to get their attention since he thinks that he still has the upper hand, but Starscream tells him that their working relationship is over. This angers Horton, and he immediately threatens to detonate the explosives in Starscream's body. Starscream smiles and tells him to go ahead, and Horton smashes the button over and over, but nothing happens. Just then, the other humans on Horton's team come up behind him. Raz apologizes and tells him that Starscream promised to let them go if they disabled the explosives, so she did. Horton realizes that she's made a huge mistake, and it's the last mistake she'll ever make. Starscream thanks her for her help and smashes her to death with his giant hand. Clayton and Martin also try to run. Starscream fires his arm cannon, vaporizing Clayton into dust. Raz's cat survives, and maybe Starscream will keep it for a pet. Horton drops to his knees and begs for his life as Starscream picks up the human's remote control for his tank body. Starscream tells Horton that trying to make him a slave is unforgivable. He pushes the joystick on the controller, moving the tank forward and crushing Horton under his tank treads. Private Martin is the last human left alive. Starscream looks at him and orders him to start drawing. He'll be the illustrator and witness Starscream's rise to power. Starscream declares that he will never be someone else's property and he'll be the master of his own destiny. With Astrotrain and the Combaticons, he's coming for Soundwave and the Earth. To be continued. So I thought this was a fun issue. It was, it's rare to see Starscream getting, basically having a successful day. And he basically did. I mean, other than not having legs due to the volcano, but I feel like this was a really fun issue. And the flashbacks were interesting as well. Just, I guess that's a new power that this Megatron has. Some sort of psychic power. And I can't wait to see that fleshed out more once Megatron does come into the picture in the present day. But really nice kind of joining the previous arc with the piece of Cybertron coming down and bringing this Starscream arc kind of to a close. And we have basically another faction of Decepticons here. So looking forward to seeing where they go. I thought the art was really good. I really enjoyed Jason Howard's art here and the colors. And it was very fun, very gruesome at times. The human deaths, I still don't I'm still not used to seeing in a Transformers book, just the gruesomeness that they're able to show in this. But um, just no real complaints at all with this book. I really enjoyed it. So I think Char, let's go with you first. Since you're the huge Starscream fan on the show. What were your thoughts on this book?
So I've been waiting very patiently for this because I accidentally, and this is legit accident, I accidentally saw the spoiler cover for this. Like someone had posted it on Twitter, and I was like, "What the heck happened to Starscream?"
That was
I'm like
the
his
cover that had
legs.
him with the Hiss tank.
Yeah, I'm like, what happened to him? And so I had kind of like a similar reaction to Starscream when he's like, what happened to me? Like with his legs and everything. But I really liked this issue. I thought it had a good balance of writing. The artwork was amazing. You know, good dialogue and also action. I really also liked the flashback sequences. And I really felt bad that like reading this that Megatron's psychic ability like pretty much forced Starscream to become an instrument of destruction for him, in the Decepticon cause. And my favorite page in this book is from the flashback scene where it shows him at first like kind of cringing when he's shooting at Autobots and then progressively like enjoying it. And then it has like that's a full page of him with Megatron in gun mode. So I'm looking at my notes. I took notes on this. So, um, you know, um, I do think it's interesting that he did say, like, I'm not going to be anyone's slave ever again. So I'm wondering if that's inferring to what Megatron did to him, like forcing him to be his executioner. I don't think we from what we saw, like he didn't originally want to do that, but now like he's desensitized to killing. And I do think it's funny that he did not kill the cat. So um
Well, they have a similar mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also thought it was funny that he kept the one human alive to draw him.
Mhm.
It's like, draw me in my glory. So, but no, this is really interesting seeing now that we have two factions of the Decepticons, one that's loyal to Megatron and one that's loyal to Starscream. So, there's this infighting that's going to happen, I suspect. But yeah, that I could go on and on, but that's my summary of my thoughts on this issue.
Awesome. Cool. And Daryl, you got your violence in this issue. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I did get some violence. That's good.
You got your Transformers too.
I did get some Transformers. So it was a good issue. I liked it. It answered a couple questions. Of one, what the hell is going to happen with Starscream? Now, it didn't really answer like where this group came from. Their access to his tanks, puts them with Cobra.
Well, they said they work with Mars Industry, and that's who developed the Hiss tanks.
Right. Okay.
So not really Cobra yet.
Gotcha. The I don't know if any of these characters were named, G.I. Joe characters, or Cobra character, whatever. You know what I mean? Like from the show or the comic. But I like how one of them's like a sketch artist and is just kind of like there to document everything in visual form. It's a very artist first mentality, instead of taking notes and documenting it as like a journal, they're taking like they're drawing everything. I thought the art was fantastic. And I like I said before, with regards to the covers, I think Jason Howard's art is quite good, and The idea that Starscream, prior to everything at the end of the issue, can be controlled with just like a joystick controller is kind of crazy. It's kind of funny. The flashbacks were good. I liked those. The so the issues prior to with Beachcomber and having him come across and capture Astrotrain led me to believe that Astrotrain, because he was detained in a Decepticon ship, or was it Decepticon ship or was it the Autobot ship? I think it was the Decepticon ship.
Yeah, he was like in like some kind of prison cell or something,
like a holding facility
Yeah.
on the Decepticon ship, right? So the fact that he was detained made me think that he was some kind of raving lunatic, right? So that the fact that the Decepticons couldn't even control him, but Starscream comes across him and sees him once again detained and frees him like there's nothing to it, right? And he just falls in line. Like that kind of confused me a little bit. I expected Astrotrain to be like kind of more unpredictable, and to the fact that he just fell in line like that and just like, yeah, I'll transport you around the planet and it's no big deal, right? I expected him to be a lot more crazy. So that kind of threw me for a loop. Maybe there's more to Astrotrain's future. The part of Cybertron falling was I just have a problem with the physics of it.
Yeah.
I think it would have fallen and then fallen to its side instead of standing straight up.
I feel like it's more of like a world-ending type of event.
Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of huge, right? And it would have done an awful lot of damage, right? Instead of just sticking there. But there's that's just a more suspension of disbelief kind of thing on that. I love the idea that the Combaticons are back together. As much as they can be with Brawl being half the bot, but he's still there. He still functions. They can fix him. So, Bruticus is coming. I got to imagine. I mean, if Starscream can get attached to his tank, then Brawl can get, Brawl is a tank and there's a his tank. Like, let's go. Come on.
There is
not that far.
I think a shadow or a silhouette of Bruticus in the cover that they show for the next issue. In the back of this.
And then, right. Yes. The killing was expected. I fully expected that. Sorry, I'm yawning like crazy here. I am very concerned for the cat. You see the shadow of the cat jumping onto Starscream's hand, and that is the last image you see of the cat. You don't see it in at any other stage by the end of the book, and I don't consider Starscream to be one that will take care of a cat, so I expect this cat will not make it.
Wait, no, he's on his shoulder. I'm looking at it again. The cat's on his shoulder in one panel. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, yeah. So I see it on there where he's using the controller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it there. And then there, I don't see it on the big, team shot.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a cat, right? So I mean,
he could get inside the tank and curl up and.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, as far as the book goes, it's kind of silly. It works really well. It's telling the Starscream story, which I fully expect. Is bringing Starscream back into the fold. I think when we first thought Starscream was dying, we until we see a body right in comics, they're not dead. So yeah, it was a fun book. A few issues with like the plot and kind of like world physics and stuff like that, but other than that, I'm fine with it. It was a fun book, and I love the violence and the all that kind of stuff. I like to see Starscream get his hopes up because everything's gonna come crashing down for him. Eventually, they always do. So get
at
those
some
hopes
point, Megatron
high
has
up.
to show up in this book.
When
Yep.
when like we'll never know.
Awesome. Well, I think that's our review.
All right. Well, then we will move on from there and go to media news. Okay. And in media news today, we are going to start off with Transformers Eternal War, the mobile game. This is different from Earth Wars, which is still a thing. I saw people playing it at TF Baltimore. It's ridiculous. It's been going on for like 80 years.
I mean, they
playing it.
Well, the thing with Transformers and all the repaints, that they do the same in the game.
That's right. So this is a new game. They have their there's a trailer on the YouTubes, and they have a little blurb here, and I'll read this blurb. It says, "Experience the thrill of Transformers like never before in Transformers Eternal War, a new idle RPG adventure. Relive the excitement and the glory of Transformers with classic characters, iconic locations, and storylines. We've recreated fan favorite details from familiar faces to unforgettable sound effects, adding a new layer of depth to the universe you love." It says the Transformers Eternal War introduces innovative combat mechanics and a gripping new story. Assemble your team of Autobots and Decepticons, unleash powerful abilities in new combats. The battle rages on, answer the call. So anywho, it's a new game for your mobile device, and it's probably going to cost money if you want to do anything really special, or take ages to get anywhere if you don't. So again, be wary of doing this stuff. We talk about this every single time they announce a new mobile game. If you got buckets of money, then support us on Patreon. If you after you do that, then throw some money at one of these stupid mobile games. You don't get anything from it.
A lot of these you can also
into a hole.
You can play a lot of these without paying. Just, be prepared to not advance as quickly or as far. That's what
it just takes forever. Yeah. Okay, moving on. There's a interview with Transformers 1 voice actor Evan Michael Lee. They voiced Jazz in Transformers 1, and there's an interview on the YouTube with them, who and I guess it's 44 minutes long. That's a nice long interview, so very cool. I just rewatched that today with my son, who I was trying to entertain for an hour and a half, and Jazz has very little lines, so I guess so this 44-minute interview is like 1,000% longer than his lines are in the movie, but
I know he's
a great
very
job.
active on social media and been like interacting with people, so seems like
That's
a really
great.
cool guy.
Did a great job in the movie with the lines that he had, so That's great. I'm hoping that when this franchise gets a sequel, he gets more time to shine as Jazz. So that would be
Yeah.
great. I would like to see that very much.
Mhm.
And we do have another interview, and this is from with Hasbro Entertainment president Oliver Dumont, and it's talking about future Josh Cooley projects. So, they
Had you
they're
intended that to be a segue to this story?
I did not, but yeah, I have not read this interview, so
it basically he's just saying that they have been talking with Josh Cooley about future projects. They didn't actually say Transformers projects,
Mhm.
but we are all hoping that means that they are going to pursue a sequel.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it just says they're working with, or they're talking with Josh Cooley about future projects.
Cool. Well, they have so many other properties that they could work with, but Josh Cooley is a very talented director. We saw it, obviously, we know it, but I
Mhm.
mean, when you've got a director that's done such great work as Josh has done, you want to kind of nail him down for a while with some good products.
I mean,
So
the failure of Transformers 1, I think anyone looking at it objectively can point to the marketing.
Mhm.
And Josh Cooley didn't have any, role in the marketing.
nope.
The
No.
reviews of the movie were by and large, unless you're IGN, really good.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. No, he Josh did nothing wrong. He did everything right. And I mean, I just rewatched it today, like I said, and I still found so many awesome parts in it. I was, I meant to I even like my son's 3.5. His attention span is negligible. And I was able to keep his attention, multiple times during the film. And it was good. I enjoyed it again, and made sure to point out to my son when the big robots punched each other. So that was, I knew when that was coming. I said, "Okay, here, watch. They're gonna fight," and he
Mhm.
enjoyed that. So, yeah. But I really do hope that Hasbro and Josh work something out, because it would be really nice to see another Transformers film, another 2 Transformers films. That'd be good. But I mean, anything from Josh and then the Hasbro properties, I think, would be great. All right, and with that, I think we are going to finish up the show with some feedback. Okay, and our feedback for this week is coming from YouTube, and from referencing episode 415, so last week's episode, and it is from Carl's Collection, and they say, "Good discussion, guys. Thanks for the shout out, Scott. I'd definitely be up for any additional reason to chat about the Energon universe. I've been enjoying it all for different reasons. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention is that the mask that Destro puts on Darklon is a nod to the original Darklon action figure." Cool.
That we didn't like. None of us had, the GI Joe knowledge to recognize that, but we all knew
Oh.
the way it was designed. It had to have been referenced to something. And
Mhm.
Carl's Collection is a YouTuber that Dr. Pants knows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. I have no GI Joe knowledge, and I do not want any.
well, that's
So,
what we were talking about, having him on with you to talk about, like Charles and I did that retrospective,
right.
having, him and you to also do some sort of retrospective. I think that'd be fun.
Would it? Would I
Oh,
have to learn GI Joe?
no, it's you going from your perspective, him going from his perspective. I think it'd be very
Okay.
entertaining.
I still want to know if a GI Joe podcast, one, exists,
Oh, many.
and two, have been covering the Transformers books. Or
pretty sure.
3 can read and have been doing the G.I. Joe books.
So there is a podcast called the Full Force Podcast that
Oh,
I am pretty sure that they have been following the books.
The G.I. Joe books or all the books?
I don't know if they've been doing the.
I want to know if they are reciprocating what we are doing, what Charles is making me do.
Yeah. Daryl's trying to bring balance to the universe.
I am because I am not enjoying these G.I. Joe books.
Oh.
And I want to know if there's a G.I. Joe version of me.
Yeah, he was complaining about Transformers. Yeah.
That's right.
I'm
Your
looking.
evil twin, Daryl.
Yeah.
I'm searching their feed for Transformers.
We're doing some real life research, real time
That's
research.
right.
Yeah, and I'm not.
It's not
they
gonna happen.
talk. Oh,
You're not gonna
60
do it.
came on an episode in October talking about
What?
movie stuff.
6-0.
Six,
Come on,
so.
man. All
They're
right.
talking about like the Transformers crossover movie stuff.
Oh.
I don't know.
BS, man.
I mean, we should
BS.
invite them on. That'd be fun.
You should invite us on because we're the
Yeah.
ones talking about all the books.
And tag them
I
in,
mean-
in this episode.
You know, someone's got to cover these books, and it's your cross to bear, Daryl.
Yeah.
You've been
Yeah,
outvoted,
I
Daryl.
truly am a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it has been great to get back on here. It's a shame Charles couldn't be here to enjoy Transformers number 14. I wish he could have partaken in some of this, maybe written the review or something. I don't know. That would have been nice.
It was his week.
But anyway, before we go, I want to make sure that we mention our Donatreons, our Masterpiece Donatreons. So thank you very much to John 4X Levengood and Steve C. Thank you very much, guys. You are awesome. And with that, I am going to say thank you to Shar for joining us this week. Shar, what's going on with you and where can they reach you?
Well, not much. I mean, thank you for having me on. I always have fun. So I'm now on Blue Sky and Instagram. For now, and this might be indefinitely, I'm going to stop posting to Twitter. So I am working on commissions.
What happened? Did anything
What
happen?
happened?
What happened?
A lot, but we don't have to discuss that here. But if you want to get a commission from me, I have those available. There's info on my pages. I'm also on the Transmissions Discord, which is transmissionspodcast.com/Discord.
Right on. All right, cool. And Jeremy, everyone knows where Jeremy is.
Yeah, I'm here always.
Places.
Even when Daryl and Charles don't show up, I'm here.
You're the
That's right.
lighthouse of this podcast.
Unless I'm not here, but
Yeah.
I'm usually here.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone. And we will say goodnight. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Hi.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.